Once upon a time, in a colourful and magical valley of wonders, where fantastic creatures and lush landscapes spread everywhere. In the heart of this valley, there lived Buzzy, a curious and brave little bee. Buzzy had tiny wings, but big dreams of exploring the world beyond his garden. One day, while flying through the flowers, Buzzy befriended Max, a very sociable cricket, and Rosie, a vibrant and lively butterfly. Together, they became inseparable and decided it was time to explore the Valley of Wonders in search of exciting adventures. Their adventures included visits to the enchanted forest, where they encountered talking trees and wise mushrooms. They also met Terry, a wise old turtle, who taught them about patience and the importance of enjoying every moment. At Cloud Peak, they discovered a world of fluffy clouds, where they played hide and seek with the creatures of the sky. Later, in Rio Serrano, they made friends with Finn, a curious fish who showed them the secrets of the underwater world. But it wasn't just happy adventures that Buzzy and his friends encountered. They also faced challenges and obstacles. On one occasion, when they were trapped in a maze of magical vines, they had to use their cunning and teamwork to find their way out. Throughout their journeys, Buzzy, Max, and Rosie learned valuable lessons about friendship, courage, and respect for nature. They realized that the Valley of Wonders was full of unexplored wonders, and that life was an adventure to be lived to the fullest.
Once upon a time, in a picturesque village in the middle of the forest, there lived a young man named Lucas. Lucas was a brave and curious boy, always looking for adventure. He had a faithful companion, a dog named Rex, and the two were inseparable. One day, while exploring the dense forest, they heard a sad and distant howl. Intrigued, they followed the sound and found an injured wolf. The wolf, whose name was Lupo, had his paw caught in a cruel trap. Lucas and Rex decided to help. With great care and patience, they freed Lupo from the trap. The wolf was grateful and surprised by the kindness he had received. Lucas, Rex, and Lupo started sharing stories and became friends. Despite the obvious differences, the friendship between the three grew every day. Lupo taught Lucas to respect nature and understand the nuances of the forest. Rex and Lupo became great friends, defying expectations that dogs and wolves could not live in harmony. The three friends faced many challenges together, from hunting to storms. Always supporting each other, they proved that true friendship knows no limits. Lucas, Rex, and Lupo demonstrated that when different species come together in a spirit of love and compassion, the world becomes a better place. This friendship lasted a lifetime, leaving a lasting lesson for everyone in the forest and in the village. The story of Lucas, Rex, and Lupo has become a legend, celebrating the idea that true friendship is capable of transcending barriers, connecting hearts, and spreading love.
Hello, little friends! Today we will embark on a magical journey through the enchanted world of the Little Prince, full of adventures, friends, and special lessons. Meet the Little Prince, who lives on his small planet. He takes care of a very special rose and lives in a place full of magic and surprises. The Little Prince has a very special friend, a unique rose that he takes care of with lots of love. Together, they live incredible adventures in their little world. One day, the Little Prince goes on an exciting journey through incredible planets. He visits planets with kings, vain people, and even a clever fox. Each planet is a new adventure full of fun and learning. On each planet, the Little Prince learns important things: how to be responsible, be humble, and discover the true value of friendship. It's time to say goodbye, but the Little Prince returns home full of homesickness, knowing that true magic lies in his friends and his heart. I hope you enjoyed the adventures of the Little Prince. Continue exploring magical worlds through reading and imagination. Until next time, friends!
Once upon a time, in a distant kingdom, nestled between emerald forests and rolling hills, there lived a married couple who longed for a child. Their desire was finally granted when the queen discovered a magical herb known as Rapunzel, which she consumed to fulfill her wish. Little did they know that the herb was enchanted, and soon the queen found herself with child. As the days turned to months, the queen's pregnancy became a tale of wonder, and it was said that her laughter echoed with the same enchantment as the herb she had ingested. The kingdom buzzed with anticipation, and the news of the impending arrival spread far and wide. However, the enchantment came with a price. The kingdom's sorceress, an enigmatic figure known for her unpredictable ways, cast a spell on the unborn child. When the day finally arrived, the queen gave birth to a beautiful baby girl with golden hair that seemed to shimmer like the sun. They named her Rapunzel, after the magical herb that had brought her into the world. To protect Rapunzel from the sorceress's curse, the king and queen entrusted her to the care of a group of wise fairies who lived on the outskirts of the kingdom. These fairies, known for their benevolence and ancient magic, vowed to shield Rapunzel from harm. As Rapunzel blossomed into a young woman within the fairy sanctuary, she developed an insatiable curiosity about the world beyond the enchanted borders. Her golden hair, which seemed to possess a life of its own, grew longer and more vibrant with each passing day. The fairies, sensing her longing for adventure, decided it was time for Rapunzel to discover the world outside. One day, as the sun bathed the kingdom in a warm glow, the fairies escorted Rapunzel beyond the enchanted borders. Her heart raced with excitement as she marveled at the wonders of nature. Yet, unbeknownst to her, the sorceress had been watching, her eyes filled with a sinister gleam. As Rapunzel explored the world, she encountered a charming young man named Flynn. Drawn to each other by fate, they embarked on a journey that tested their courage and love. Little did they know that the sorceress, furious at the interference in her plans, sought to ensnare Rapunzel once more. The story unfolds with daring escapades, unexpected alliances, and the timeless power of love. Rapunzel's golden hair, the symbol of her enchantment, becomes a beacon of hope in the face of adversity. The kingdom, once shrouded in mystery, witnesses the triumph of good over evil as Rapunzel and Flynn navigate the challenges that threaten to separate them forever. In the end, it is the strength of their love that shatters the sorceress's curse and brings about a new era of prosperity for the kingdom. Rapunzel, now a wise and compassionate queen, and Flynn, her steadfast companion, rule with benevolence and unity, ensuring that their tale becomes a cherished legend passed down through generations. And so, in the heart of the Enchanted Kingdom, the story of Rapunzel lives on as a testament to the enduring power of love and the magic that resides within every heart.
Once upon a time, in a distant kingdom, there lived a beautiful princess named Isabella. She lived in an imposing castle with her royal family, but despite her privileged life, Isabella felt something was missing. She longed for something more than just wealth and tradition. Isabella was known for her beauty, grace, and intelligence, but she dreamed of adventure and meaning in her life. She spent hours in the royal library, reading about stories of heroes and heroines who embarked on epic journeys. One day, a message arrived at the castle. A distant village was facing a terrible crisis. A fierce dragon was terrorizing the population, and they desperately needed help. Isabella saw this as an opportunity to get out of the castle and do something truly brave. She asked the king and queen for permission to face the dragon, and they reluctantly agreed. Isabella set out with courage, wearing shining armor, riding her faithful horse, and with a shining sword in her hands. The village received her with hope, but also with concern. as no one believed that a princess could defeat the dragon. Isabella faced many challenges on her journey to find the dragon, including dark forests, dangerous streams, and treacherous mountains. However, his determination and bravery never diminished. When he finally found the dragon, an epic battle ensued. With intelligence and bravery, Isabella defeated the dragon and convinced him to leave the village in peace. The villagers were surprised by the princess's courage and grateful for her help. Upon returning to the castle, Isabella realized that her journey had not only saved the village, but also transformed it. She had found her purpose and a sense of fulfillment that the luxury of the castle could never provide her. And so Princess Isabella found her place in the world, proof that true nobility is in the heart and in actions, not just in title or wealth. Once upon a time, on the edge of the Friendship Forest, there lived a hare named Leo and a turtle named Tanya. Leo was known for his speed and confidence, while Tanya was recognized for being wise, patient, and determined. One day, Leo, with a cocky smile, mocked Tanya, saying, "Tanya, you're so slow. I could walk around the forest before you could take 10 steps. Tanya, smiling calmly, replied, "Maybe, Leo, but speed isn't the only thing that matters. Let's have a race and see what happens." And so the race was scheduled, with all the forest animals gathering to watch. Roger the rabbit counted down, and the race began. Leo ran ahead, leaving Tanya behind. He zigzagged through the forest, stopping occasionally to perform acrobatics and show off to the audience. Meanwhile, Tanya continued at a steady pace, without worrying about Leo's speed. Halfway there, Leo decided to take a nap, confident that Tanya would never catch up to him. However, when he woke up, he saw Tanya just a few steps from the finish line. With one last effort, Leo ran to catch up with Tanya, but she crossed the finish line before him. Tanya won the race with her determination and perseverance. The animals applauded Tanya, while Leo, humbled and surprised, admitted that he had underestimated his turtle friend. They learned that while speed is impressive, patience and determination can be even more valuable.
A long time ago, in a distant kingdom, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. She was a kind and gentle girl, but she had a difficult life as she lived with her stepmother and 2 half-sisters who treated her cruelly. Cinderella spent her days doing household chores, while her stepsisters enjoyed all the luxuries of the castle. One day, a royal message arrived, inviting all the young women in the kingdom to a grand ball at the castle, where the prince would choose a bride. Cinderella dreamed of going, but her stepsisters forbade her. However, with the help of her fairy godmother, Cinderella got a stunning dress, crystal slippers, and even a magical carriage to take her to the ball. The fairy godmother warned her that everything would return to normal at midnight. At the ball, Cinderella enchanted the prince with her beauty and grace. They danced all night, but at midnight Cinderella had to run away, leaving one of her glass slippers behind. The prince found the shoe and decided to look for the owner of that shoe, determined to find her. Finally, the prince arrived at Cinderella's house, where his stepsisters tried to put on the shoe, but it only fit Cinderella. The prince recognized the girl from the ball and chose her as his wife. Cinderella and the prince were married, and she never again had to endure the cruelty of her stepmother and stepsisters. They lived happily ever after, showing that goodness and gentleness triumph over evil. Once upon a time, in an enchanted underwater kingdom, King Triton ruled wisely. Among his 7 daughters, the most curious and dreamy was Ariel, the Little Mermaid. The sea was full of enchantment and mysteries, but Ariel longed for something beyond the waves. One stormy night, Ariel's life changed forever. A shipwreck brought Prince Eric to the brink of death, and Ariel, with courage, saved him. Fascinated by the human world, Ariel desperately wanted to be part of it. Curiosity led Ariel to Ursula, the cunning sea witch. Ursula offered Ariel the chance to live in the human world, but the price was high. Ariel's charming voice. Moved by forbidden love, Ariel accepted, gaining legs and losing the ability to speak. Ariel emerged onto human shores, but communication became a challenge. Even without words, the connection between Ariel and Eric grew. Meanwhile, Ursula, watching from afar, devised a plan to prevent Ariel from winning the prince's heart. Back in the underwater kingdom, Flounder, the curious fish, and Sabidon, the wise seagull, were suspicious of Ursula's plans. Determined to help Ariel, they faced dangers and revealed the truth about the agreement with the witch. Time was running out. Ariel discovered that at sunset on the third day, she would lose her chance to be human forever. While Ursula, in disguise, tried to deceive Eric, Ariel realized the true importance of her desire and the price she would pay. At the crucial moment, Flounder and Sabidon revealed the truth to Eric. Determined to save Ariel, he faced Ursula in an epic battle. Ariel regained her enchanting voice, and true love prevailed over the witch's wiles. With Ursula defeated, peace was restored to the undersea kingdom. Ariel and Eric lived happily ever after, proving that true love goes beyond words and appearances. Ariel maintained her passion for the sea, now enriched by her experience on dry land. The Little Mermaid learned that courage, friendship, and true love are powerful allies in life's challenges. His journey, full of sacrifices and triumphs, left a legacy of hope and inspiration in the depths of the ocean. And so, the story of the Little Mermaid comes to an end. A magical journey of love, sacrifice, and overcoming, which reminds us that, even in the deepest seas, the human heart is capable of finding true happiness. End. Once upon a time, in a distant kingdom, where castles rose beneath deep blue skies, there lived the beautiful Princess Snow White. Her eyes were like twinkling stars, and her hair was black as night. However, the evil queen, her stepmother, was deeply jealous of Snow White's radiant beauty. The evil queen, a ruler of extraordinary beauty, was overcome with envy as she consulted her magic mirror. Every day, the mirror's answer enraged her more. Snow White is the most beautiful in the kingdom. Consumed by envy, the evil queen devised a Machiavellian plan to eliminate the threat to her beauty. Disguised as an old witch, she offered Snow White a poisoned apple, capable of putting her into a deep sleep. The poison was as subtle as the shadow of night, and Snow White succumbed to its effect. Alerted by a loyal servant, Snow White escaped the castle and found refuge in the enchanted forest. The woods, filled with whispering trees and curious animals, became their new home. The young princess, once surrounded by luxury, now shared her life with nature. Walking through the forest, Snow White discovered a small house. Upon entering, he found 7 beds, one for each dwarf who lived there. Danga, Feliz, Soneca, Dengoso, Achim, Mestre, and Zangado, dwarfs with pure hearts, welcomed her into their home. Snow White, in turn, brought light and joy to that little house. Despite her new home, the evil queen was determined to achieve her revenge. Disguised again, she offered Snow White the poisoned apple. The princess, in her purity, succumbed to a deep sleep, surrounded by an atmosphere of sadness. The 7 years, upon discovering a tragedy, were overcome by sadness. Yet hope invites in their pure hearts. Believing in the power of true love, they deposited Snow White in a glass coffin, waiting for the moment when a prince faced awakening. The news of the sleeping beauty reached the ears of a noble prince. Inspired by the legend, he embarked on a journey to find the princess who could break the spell. Navigating through dense forests and facing challenges, he arrived at the clearing where Snow White rested. Upon seeing the princess, the prince instantly knew that she was the love he was looking for. His kiss, filled with true love, broke the spell. Snow White awoke, and the forest glowed with light and joy. The dwarves, prince and princess, returned to the castle, ready to face the evil queen. By confronting the evil queen, Snow White showed that true beauty lies in kindness and love. The evil queen, defeated by her own darkness, faced justice. Happiness and peace were restored to the kingdom. Snow White became the queen of the kingdom, alongside the prince who awakened her. The dwarves, now respected advisors, helped rule wisely. The kingdom flourished under Snow White's righteous leadership, transforming adversity into strength, sorrow into joy, and darkness into light. On the vast plains of Africa, beneath a starry sky dotted with promise, Mufasa, the wise lion, rules with a majesty that echoes in the breezes. His mane, a crown of power and justice, hangs over a land where rivers snake like veins of life, and the plains stretch like a golden carpet beneath the sun that bids farewell to the nights, leaving the promise of a new dawn. On a night where the stars twinkle like celestial witnesses, Simba, the long-awaited heir, comes into the world. Mufasa's proud roar rings out across the hills, heralding the arrival of a promising era. The savannah, enveloped in a symphony of nature, celebrates the joy that extends through every leaf, every grass, and every animal heart.
Meanwhile, in the shadows of the acacia trees, Scar, Mufasa's dark brother, plots. His eyes, slits of burning ambition, reflect the desire for a power that does not belong to him. Under the rogue moon, he weaves a treacherous plan, casting a shadow over the land of the lion, anticipating the beginning of a starless night.
Tragedy, like a relentless storm, erupts when Scar draws the treacherous line. Mufasa, at the height of his glory, faces betrayal that echoes like distant thunder. The rain's tears bear witness to the fading majestic roar as the king falls in the jaws of betrayal, leaving behind a desolate savannah and a lost heir. Faced with pain that reverberates like echoes in the vastness, Simba, the young prince, flees. The once familiar savannah now seems like an ocean of uncertainty. On his journey, he finds refuge in the unusual friendship of Timon and Pumbaa, whose carefree philosophy and laid-back lifestyles bring welcome relief to wounds that time has yet to heal. Time unfolds like a leaf in the wind, and Simba, now an adult, confronts his destiny. An ancient calling resonates in his heart, guiding him back to the land of the lion. Under the golden light of the setting sun, he faces Scar and the demons of the past. The battle is a storm of emotions and roars, but in the end, Simba emerges victorious, bringing with him not only victory, but the restoration of honor and justice to his homeland. Under Simba's benevolent rule, the land of the lion flourishes again. The final stanzas describe the restoration of harmony, the reconciliation between all creatures, and the resurgence of hope. The eternal cycle persists, and Simba, with a promise to preserve his father's legacy, looks to the horizon where the sun sets, sealing the promise of a radiant tomorrow.